The D'Amelio brand's co-founder and CEO, Marc D'Amelio. He's the father of social media phenoms Charlie and Dixie D'Amelio. Let me guess, they didn't call you for that commercial because you're no longer a small business. You're huge. Did you get a call?
We did not get a call. No one reached out to us. Early on when they were talking about the last ban, we got some calls, but no one called us this time around.
Would you have done it, Marc? I mean, where do you stand on this? I know that you are very much somebody who has said, hey, we'll follow the law, but what would you say to a senator who calls you and says, you know, give me a reason?
I mean, I think it's the number one reason is freedom of speech. I mean, the ability that every American has to pick up their phone and go on TikTok and voice their opinions on anything, and what the commercial that was just on talked about how it's helped small business. And obviously, from my standpoint, it's been an integral part of my family's success over the last 4 years. But I stand with free speech, and I find it ironic that this is the first piece of legislation that Republicans and Democrats came out in favor of so quickly. So.
Yeah, and to have both sides agree on something, we can look at some of the people in the House on both sides of the aisle who were 100% for this. Listen, Speaker Nancy Pelosi, well, Representative Nancy Pelosi, Speaker Mike Johnson. So you got a Democrat and then a Republican. Jim Jordan's a Republican. Elise Stefanik, Republican. Adam Schiff, Democrat. Mark Warner obviously is a senator. He is against it. He is for it. He and Marco Rubio, a Republican, along with Senator Blumenthal, Senator Blackburn, a Republican, Josh Hawley, a Republican. They want to see this ban. How do you bring all those people together? And then you see the ones against the ban, everyone from Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is definitely a Republican, Senator Rand Paul, to Chris Murphy, the senator who's a Democrat, along with Dick Durbin.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, the fact that you're getting bipartisan support for a ban like this is wild. And I mean, with all the things going on in this country right now, this is the thing that we're focusing on, and we finally have some bipartisan support on, is ridiculous. And I find it ironic that a country that was founded on free speech and this is probably the antithesis of freedom of speech, to be able to pick up your phone and talk to the world is wild. So, and I think as far as Republicans, this is a great platform for them, who seem to be lagging behind with social media, to really use TikTok in a way to get their voice and message across. And again, they seem like they just don't get it.
Well, here's what they do get. Let me just play devil's advocate. And as you know, I'm on TikTok doing market updates and things like that at Red Fox Liz. But they would say the Chinese are listening. And if we look at our biggest adversary right now when it comes to military and the buildup and the fact that they do not allow free speech in their country, the Chinese are a threat. Do you not see that angle of it?
Of course. And I mean, national security is really important. But through these last 2 years when they've been talking about a ban, I haven't seen anything that makes me concerned with what's going on. If we want to talk about overall security and making sure our information is secure, there's companies right here in America that have similar issues. So I think we all should be talking about our family is definitely vulnerable to we've been squatted. We've all kinds of things where our information has gone out in the public. Mm-hmm. So I think that is paramount, and we should be discussing that. And I think you're going down a slippery slope to ban a company or force a sale of a company. What's next? And have we thought about what the Chinese or other foreign governments might do to our companies?
You know, when you look at the numbers for your family, let's talk from a business standpoint. The followings, it all started with your daughter, Charlie, when she started doing dances on TikTok several years ago. She's, of course, the 800-pound gorilla. I mean, it's pretty incredible. She's got 152.6 million TikTok followers. Dixie's got 56.3 million. You're at 10.2 million. That's cute. But when you look at where you are total for TikTok, which is triple-digit millions, Instagram, you're at 69 million. X, you're, as you saw, much less, 3 point, I guess, a couple million there. You've been expanding. I know you've been diversifying in advance of the possibility of a ban. But what does TikTok have? What special something does it have for all business people who have started businesses from nothing?
Yeah, it's really helped the barrier of entry into business. When I first started my first clothing brand, you had to go to a retail buyer and advertise and do all these things. You could talk directly to the public through TikTok, and I think the algorithm makes it that it shows you your interest, and the For You page has been phenomenal. Once you start to it starts to learn your interests, it shows you more of that. So for anyone in a particular business that's interested in law or landscaping or anything, you kind of get that through your For You page, and it's been phenomenal for small business.
Your business, D'Amelio Brands, that you have launched. You've got footwear, you've got Happy Snacks. I'd love to hear exactly how Be Happy Snacks, how that is going, because the last time you were here on the show, it was very new. Yeah,
I mean, TikTok ban, yes or no, that we knew we had to diversify. I mean, we knew that being dependent on social media platforms and also being in the what I call the hamster wheel of in social media, different than mainstream media. The deals seem to be very short term. So we wanted to create something that has longevity, that could last, with or without us. And we started a footwear brand that we went direct to consumer. Now we're opening up retail, selling wholesale to retail locations around the country. And Be Happy Snacks, an incredible popcorn brand, and we're going to be launching other products, and we're moving into 7-Eleven and Albertsons, with our initial launch was at Walmart.
What's with the algorithm on TikTok? I've been stuck for 3 years at 250,000 followers. Like, it hasn't moved. Come on, give me a trick.
Yeah, I don't know. I do think collaboration is important. I mean, early on, when a lot of the early TikTokers came up and started to grow, collaborating with other people and collaborating with other people that might not know who you are, I think is great. But I'd be more than happy to do a little collaboration with you on your TikTok and see if we can drive some traffic there.
But if the law and if the government says we're out, we're out. Okay, let's make that clear. But it's great to see you, Marc. Thank you so much.